Yo, what's up? It's Alec. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you don't know about me, I've been in real estate for almost 3 years. I've done mostly wholesale deals, and now I'm doing fix and flips and Airbnbs, and I'm trying to, broaden my spectrum. In this video, we're going to talk about why, in my opinion, most fix and flippers that started in the COVID era are going to fail this year. Right now, I'm in my active fix and flip. As you can see around me, it's an active job. Contractors are on break, so I thought it would be a good time to record and kind of talk about my honest opinion on flipping. A lot of flippers are going to struggle this year in 2023 if they haven't already started struggling, because a lot of them already did. A lot of flippers got started during the COVID era, so 2020, 2021, 2022, and a lot of these flippers, even myself included, we only saw an up market. So we only saw where if I bought it in January, February, it increased in value. It always went up. If you talk to a real estate investor that started in 07, 08, 2010, 2011, you could ask them about how the price changes affected their flip, or maybe one day you buy it and the next day it's actually worth less, right? So you have to factor that in when you're flipping. And one thing I've noticed with current flippers is they're not factoring that in. A lot of people are buying properties assuming that they're going to keep appreciating. Luckily, we live in South Florida, and South Florida is a very hot market, but that doesn't guarantee that your properties will always appreciate. I've seen lots of deals where I've even wholesale deals where 6 months ago to today, the value is about the same. Another key thing with flippers is flipping is a very cash intensive business, right? With wholesaling, at least you're flipping the contract and you're not investing money into it besides, whatever you're paying your VAs or your marketing expenses. But with fix and flipping, you're buying the house. You're investing money, or you're investing, somebody else's money, but regardless, money is being invested, money that you owe. What happens to a lot of flippers is they're going all in on these deals. They have maybe 3, 4, 1, whatever it is, active flips, and they're relying on this flip to keep them going. If these flips stay on the market longer than expected, that means they don't have this cash and they don't have cash flow. But if the property hasn't appreciated as expected and you're looking at longer listing days, that could affect your net income and your net reserves, and maybe you could be struggling for a couple months. And if you have a family, if you have kids, if you have people relying on you, that's really stressful. To follow up with that would be the average days on market, right? It's very interesting to look at the average days on market in 2023 compared to 2021, 2022. Before it was maybe 30 days max. Now we're talking 60 days average days on market. I've seen markets where it's even longer. I've seen markets where it's shorter. Another thing that a lot of flippers aren't calculating, and a lot of reasons why maybe these flippers will fail, is because of market uncertainty and just lack of market knowledge. And that's not saying I'm a professional, because I don't know what's happening with the market either, but neither does anybody else. Even these economists that say they do, or these guys that have been in real estate for 30 years that say they do, they've been saying the sky's been falling for years, right? I remember in 2018, the real estate market was crashing. 2019, it was crashing. 2020, it was, oh, COVID is going to be the reason it crashes. And now 2023, oh, look, the market's already crashing. There's still a lack of housing supply for how many Americans we have in the country. Maybe the market can keep going up. Maybe the market will tank. Maybe it's dependent on where that market is. If it's in the Midwest, if it's in Miami, if it's in Arizona, maybe it won't get hit that hard. It'll keep going up because a lot of people want to move down here. We don't know, but market uncertainty is going to affect flipping because it's a very cash intensive business. Another reason a lot of flippers fail, and one thing that I even struggle with on this house that we're flipping, contractors. Contractors can make or break a project. This project I'm in right now has taken almost 9 months now to get to where it is. We're still maybe a few weeks out, so it's going to take in total 10 months just because of contractor turnover and not finding good contractors. It's very hard to find good contractors, and then when you do find contractors, sometimes they, when you have them at the house, they're good, but then once they leave the house and they start doing, they start working on another project, it's hard to get them back to the house. Managing a project, you have to be hands-on these project managements. For every one contractor, there's 10 bad contractors, and a bad contractor means somebody that just does bad work, but a bad contractor could also be somebody that does bad work and then vandalizes your property or something like that. And that's happened to me before too, where a contractor, vandalizes a property. I've seen contractors put mechanical liens on properties because they think they were owed money, but they didn't do the work, so why would they be owed the money? I've seen contractors make threats, say that they're gonna burn the house down. Like, I've seen it all, like, it's happened. I'll probably make videos in the future talking about it because I have some crazy stories. Managing contractors is tough, and yeah, you don't really see that many videos talking about that. I don't know how many points I'm gonna do in this video, but another factor, the rising cost of material, because even though, in 2020, I remember everybody was talking about, in 2021, everybody's talking about, it's like, oh, everything's so expensive, everything got affected, but it's still like that. With all the current politics and everything happening with like Russia and China and Europe and Asia and just all like the potential stuff that could be happening in the world, that affects all these supply chains, all these avenues that we get these materials, and that raises the cost, on top of inflation raising the cost. So everything goes up. It's hard to factor in how much it's going to truly cost, because everything is always increasing. If you want to start fix and flipping this year, take into account market uncertainty, political uncertainty, contractor uncertainty, the cost of materials, everything that I spoke about, because it's very important when you're flipping. Flipping is not as easy as you see on HGTV. Like, it's very stressful, and it can be very cost intensive and just mind intensive. My biggest tips if you want to start flipping would be, one, the most important part of flipping is buy right. So you want to buy at least 70% of like ARV, so you have room depending on how much it costs to repair, but you want to buy good. You want to buy where you have a margin, even if your value goes down and cost of labor goes up and material goes up and people aren't buying. Make sure you're in a good market and you have space for this uncertainty. Another thing is build a good team. Having a good team on a fix and flip is so important. If you have a good team, then you can manage the project well. You can have somebody check up on the project. You have contractors you can rely on. If you don't have a good team, if you're new in flipping, JV with somebody else, do the flip with somebody else. I'm sure there's a lot of people where if you find a good deal, they would do the flip with you. You guys can split it. You guys can work out the details with like the money part and everything, but they can help you with the project management. There's companies out there that all they do is they do project management on flips. So one question I'm gonna get asked in the comments is, Alec, obviously you wholesale, you buy, you have this fix and flip on. Are you gonna keep fixing flipping this year? The answer is really deal dependent. If the deal really makes sense to flip, then like maybe I will. But I don't want to fix and flip. I don't like how cash intensive it is. I don't like how long it takes. I don't like the project management. I like the wholesale model where I can get in and out, quick money, but I really want cash flow. I feel like cash flow is the most powerful aspect of real estate. It builds wealth, it builds money, consistent money, where fix and flipping, it's not consistent. No matter what anybody tells you, if they're like, oh yeah, but I always do 2 deals a month, it's not consistent. You have to continue marketing for those deals. And it's just like wholesaling, where wholesaling, you're only as good as your last paycheck. You're only as good as your last closed deal. It's the same thing for flipping, where, oh hey, I made 100K on this flip, now I have to find a next flip where I can make 100K. It's like, it's not that easy. I might fix and flip again in 2023. I'm doing this one, it's taken way too long, but really my vision is to buy cash flow. So that's my opinion on why flippers may struggle this year. I think a lot of flippers are struggling this year. If you're not, then that's amazing, good for you. I'm flipping and it's been a little bit iffy. Like, I've seen comps kind of back and forth. If you buy well enough and you buy at such a discount that you have room, and then it makes sense to flip. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it provided some value. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the interactions. I get crazy engagement on my videos. It's like so humbling seeing all these comments. I respond to all the comments too, so let me know your thoughts on flipping, and I'll see you in the next video.